in the best of health and optimistic. Let's do this. It's Monday morning. I'm not in the yard, I'm in the Dubai Hills. This is a 12,000 square foot plot where there's going to be a 15,000 square foot build, and Mohsin from Sanam Cars has been good enough to say that we can cover the entire build. And Mohsin is clearly a man that can dress. The Ashville gear can be worn in all weather. Within this house, there's going to be a swimming pool, there's going to be a spa, there's going to be a cinema, there's going to be a car lift, full top of the range spec. We've done a lot of showcases in the UK, and we have a couple at the moment, like the refurbishment project, which we're showing the build. However, it is in the UK and it's something we're all used to. I want to showcase properties from outside of the UK and show how it's done slightly different. I feel like it's very aspirational, and I've just realized you can see the Burj Khalifa from the plot. That's mad. I don't know if you can see that in the distance, guys. Burj Khalifa. At the refurbishment project today, the installation of the windows continues. Some things don't change. Porter cabins set up on the site, some Harris fencing. For me, it should be in black. I'm feeling super inspired, and everywhere I go in Dubai, all I can see is cranes in the skyline, and I see property being built, and the city is living and breathing. So I want to do more here and share more with you guys. Now, in the yard, last week I showed you that we managed to finish the smaller bays. Well, today we're gonna start to scrape out loose ground on the other side of those bays, but we have run out of concrete blocks, so we're gonna have to pour them each day. We're gonna have to put them in place when they're dry. Problem is, Ben keeps taking them out the yard and selling them, and then we can't finish our bays, but obviously we have to put the generation of revenue first. What Ben is doing this morning, first thing, he went to drop off two machines. So a digger and a dumper. I'm gonna be honest, I think that this is somewhere where I am gonna struggle to sell anyone sand. This is crazy, man. Everywhere I turn, there is construction. It's a big old piling rig. Now, I'm very unfamiliar with what it's like to build in Dubai. I'm not sure the type of foundations that need to be built here. It's kind of one of the reasons why I want to showcase this build so much. Mohsin was sharing with me all the challenges. I'm being told that a lot like a lot of areas in England, you can only have your front fence a certain height. All your fences here have to be see-through. Took Mohsin almost a year to get planning, and he's still waiting for one more to come through. I think we should be covering this, we should be talking about it, and we all should be learning how to build in the UAE. Tuesday morning, I'm not in the yard. I'm about to start the trip back to the airport. This is the car that Mohsin at Sanam Cars has given me. Have a look at this for trying to get to the airport. One case there. Both my cases and I'm ready to head to the airport. I was talking to the sticker man earlier, because you know the sticker man loves a car. Like, look, I'm a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle for the week. He said, yeah, you're more Splinter. Never driven one of these Dawns before. Obviously, you know, in the past you saw my Wraith, but this Dawn, lovely to drive. The time in Dubai is 12:48. The company I've been telling you about with the software, and I was going back and forth, and every week I was having a moan. They told me that if I wanted a refund, even though I tried to resolve it, when it was time for the refund, they would sort it out. Now I've actually said I want to have a refund. The saga continues. So the gentleman I was speaking with before, they've gone below ground, and I've received an email from another gentleman who I can only assume is from their legal department, who I've not dealt with in the past, who starts the email without prejudice. It's like a legal term to say that it's not our fault, it's not your fault, it's just an open conversation, and it can't be used if we go to court. But now they've gone into a different mode where they've started to apply delay tactics, like, can I tell them where the system failed? Can I tell them what it was, because they began to resolve it? So now I can see, because I've been here before, they're trying to tie me up in legals for as long as possible. And there's a part in the email that says a refund isn't possible. The last time I took emotion, ego, and everything out of it, and I gave them another chance, it didn't work. I need my money back, because eventually I'm going to have to get another system, and I don't have a system what I paid for. It's going to take time, and we're going to begin the email correspondence. I've handed it over to Matt, who you've seen in the past, because he deals with all our legal issues. And what they don't know about Matt is Matt's a dog with a bone. And he always says to me, Daniel, the devil is in the detail. I'm CC'd. I'm not going to read all the emails, because when I do read some of them, I feel like getting my computer and throwing it out the window. Yesterday at the refurbishment project, you saw us working on the windows. Well, this week, we have also started work on the MF ceilings, and we are running cables on the first floor. Here we're attaching the hanger angle to the underside of the slab. Now, this is going to be the support that holds the suspended MF ceiling system. The red cables you can see here are for the communication of the fire system. To continue with the external steps, we need to break out the concrete next to it so we can put new foundations and continue with the installation. I'm in the lift, last person to board. I'm trying to download the tyre cage video so I can watch it on the plane and give notes, so work can be done. The video has not downloaded yet. Oh man. They love to stop me and search my bag. The one time I want them to stop me so I can download this video, they don't stop me. Last person to get on the plane, here by myself. Fuming. It's Wednesday morning, I'm in the yard. It's 2 degrees. What a change of climate. Straight around the back to have a look. The beautiful skies of London. The moon is still up, checking on the progress of these lovely bays. Spot on. I get to see them in the flesh. That is really nice. As we pour the blocks, we build out this wall. So once we create this bay here, all the new bays will be made. We have a cement delivery at the same time. Not too happy, concrete lorry and the pump are parked up. But this concrete lorry looks like it's about to go onto the job. Ben's on the way out of the yard as well. In the best of health and optimistic. Let's do this. The time now is 10:47. An intense morning on emails and phone calls, and I thought I'd go for a walk in the yard. I saw this lorry parked up still. Asked why it was parked up, is because when the driver did his checks this morning, some of the wheel nuts were loose and they were just spinning. We couldn't tighten them up. Terry popped down to Scania to get some more wheel nuts and they didn't have any in stock. Obviously that lorry can't go out without it. And I'm unfortunately told that the wheel wash has been damaged somehow. And this is a case of nobody knows who did it, Dan. They smashed one of the pillars off it and there it is. So let's hope no one's clever and tries to drive over the wheel wash when I'm on it or set it off, but we've put cones on the other side and here we are. So this, which goes here, we need to get it fixed as soon as possible, and we're gonna have to start running the road sweeper up and down to make sure we don't track any mud onto the road. You see, we had problems with the 926. It seems to be working well at the moment, so the AdBlue problem hasn't reared its head again. But guess what? The 914 is down, so leave it in. Apparently this is just a sensor. The fitter is here. He's taking apart the machine, but the sensor hasn't arrived yet, so hopefully it turns up soon. Well, my understanding is this sensor to fit it costs £900. Gonna pour a couple of concrete blocks, pour another 3 today. They'll be dry by tomorrow, then pour another 3. And without pouring these, we can't build up the base which are down here. Time is 4:54. I'm headed into central London. I have a dinner meeting with my mate Owen, you've seen in the past, and one of the owners of MP Moran's to have a discussion and see if we can do more together. Owen and I had the initial conversations, and now we're going to move it forward. Keep telling you lot, it's all about your relationships. Speaking of relationships, today you've seen Manny, who we always work with. You've seen him in the past working on jobs with us, and you've seen us doing grabs for him. You saw him work up at my godson's house. Well, today he's doing his own job, and we were down there with the pump and we were pouring concrete. It's Thursday, I'm in the yard. The time is 12:30. I spent this morning down in the east of London, having a look at a couple of yards, popping in, seeing what they were doing. Very eye-opening, seeing the sort of operations they've got, but I realized they've also got a lot more space than we do. There was like a wharf area, and there was plenty of different companies in there, all working away hard with great infrastructure. Something to aim towards. This morning, Ben has been a very busy boy. We had a 9-ton cabbed dumper going out. Ben went down to B&W Plant Hire to collect. However, when Ben got down there, the 9-ton cab dumper was too high. It was about 17 foot. He wouldn't have got under bridges. So Ben collected the 6-tonner.
Yeah, do you? Yeah.
Smart bit of kit. We will only now have one machine left in the yard of the original stock. This we brought in afterwards. This wasn't original stock. That's not going to be here. That's not going to be here. So we will have one machine left in the yard. Happy to say that Ashville Plant Hire is doing well and moving forward nicely.
So this is the slab
For outside.
for outside. The only issue is the sizes. They can't do 120 by 120.
But they can do 600 by 120.
Yeah, I think this is the one we should use. Stairs, okay? So that's the new design they've accepted. Structure engineers look at it. The biggest issue is the steel. They're gonna try to look at it and try to fit it from underneath the slab.
Because we have a ceiling void anyway.
You see the steel?
Yeah.
We think it can continue over here and meet existing steel here.
Good.
Stairs for the loft. You want to go ahead with the timber.
Whatever carpet's on the first floor landing and the bedrooms is going on the stairs. Order it all in softwood, and then we can put some strengthening parts in it just so there's no creaking.
So basement, I told you about the underfloor heating. So it's working in the basement, it's working on the ground floor, it's quite warm already.
Yeah.
In theory, we can start working on the basement now.
Fine. What do you need from me to work on the basement?
Craig needs to come back and do this ventilation. Media wall, you said to do that we're gonna build it.
We're going to build it like we did at Stickerman's house, and then we're going to apply a finish to the outside of it.
Size of the TVs.
Bedroom 1 and 2 do 55. Base the dining room one on 60, and base this one on 80. See, David, I got all the answers.
I should call when you were in Dubai.
Talking to David about the refurbishment project, because once those windows are in, it's crunch time. We can start building ceilings, closing walls. It's going to be like a race to the finish. We could possibly do some work outside, but it's far too cold at the moment, so we're going to have the entire team inside. We used the boiler which used to be in the pool house, and we've connected up the underfloor heating in the basement and the first floor. Even with not all the windows in, the house is nice and warm, and it shows the underfloor heating's working and there are no leaks. I'm talking to a new client kind of through Vesha about a job which they have. Now, this is a conversation we've had many times in the past. Everybody who wants to do work to their house or their commercial premises, there's a starting point when you would like someone to tell you how much the work is going to cost. You're going to benefit when the work is done. You're going to live there, and then you're going to have the increased value on your property, whether that be commercial or residential. So I believe that the owner of the property or commercial premises should pay for that time. We sometimes, I'm not saying this time, encounter situations where people say,
just come and quote it.
Right.
Can't you just price it?
Right. In the nicest possible way, doing work like that makes you a busy fool. If people are sometimes basing everything strictly on budget, you may not be the right person for the job. We are more suited to people who are creating a home as a lifestyle choice because they want to enhance their lifestyle and they want their home to work for them and they want a high-end finish. If you want to do work as quickly and as cheaply as possible so it can cost you next to nothing, we are not the right people for you. However, there are different horses for different courses, and that does work for some companies and that does work for some people. So anyway, in order to get to a price of a job, there's a certain amount of time, expertise, and we encounter this problem where people don't want to pay for the time it takes to price a job accurately, even though when they pay for drawings, when they pay for structural calculations, when they go through planning permission, when they do a measured survey, so they have a bill of quantities on the job is actually priced more accurately. They own all the drawings and all the engineering plans to go to whoever they want to, and they have the security in the fact that they can go anywhere else with that and they're not going to have any hidden surprises, but they still don't want to pay for it. As a contractor, what do you do in this situation? Do you stick to your guns and request the client does this so they can have an accurate price so you both know where you stand, or do you price it blind and try to price it as cheap as possible to keep them happy when if you get it wrong later, you're going to be the one who's in hot water and then you will be the bad guy? I've said it in the past a long time ago and it just came to my mind because of the job I was looking at, and that's it for Thursday. I'm about to leave the yard and I see the forklift and I think to myself, my townie's parked it there because he's trying to block something, that he doesn't want someone to go near something. And I thought, this looks a bit strange with where the forks are. What's going on? My townie told me the lads, they let this thing run out of diesel. The thing is in the middle of the yard at the end of the day and everybody goes home and they let it run out of diesel. My townie spent about an hour trying to feed the diesel through and we couldn't. So now we got bigger problems and we can't use the forklift and it's blocking the front of the yard and everyone's going home for the day. My townies managed to get her going. What happened was when the fuel ran out, all the impurities that have been sitting in the bottom of it since 2007 or whatever it is, because that's how old this is, that all got sucked up through the fuel system and then the fuel couldn't get through afterwards, so we had to completely take it apart, clean out the entire system, and now the diesel is feeding through. But this whole thing could have been avoided if diesel was just put in it. Anyway, we're back up and running. It's Friday morning, we're in the yard. Just heading through central part of London, this historic area that I love, even when it is freezing cold. Sorry to talk in riddles. You will know when the time is right. When I can, I will say, and I will tell you the good or the bad, but I can't say at the moment. I'm looking at new opportunities, which we don't know if there'll be good opportunities. The appraisal will tell us so, and there's some decisions which are out of our control, which other people are going to make, which could completely change the course of Ashville and for myself. All we've done is put our best foot forward, and now it's completely out of our control. But there's so much hanging in the balance. Right now, if this was a boxing match, we would be round 7 of a 12-round fight, and the other geezer is not tired. And if you lose this fight, no one cares. It doesn't matter how hard you trained. It doesn't matter that you did your best. But what else can you do but push on? So I'm going to get to this event, do my best not to be on the phone the entire time, which I will be, messaging and doing emails underneath the table when everyone's socializing. But one of the good things about where I'm going is that Mr. Michael O'Donovan is going to be there. And he's messaging me, calling me names and making fun of me already. And he's promised that he's going to eat my food. So I believe I've missed lunch because the time is 1:05 currently. And there's my phone. How are you, Bazza?
Because of age of vehicle, I couldn't do a gold contract. So I've had to quote for a blue.
Is it full warranty or is it full R&M?
Yeah, it's not the full R&M, no. I managed to get maybe 12 months out of one of them, but the cost was horrendous. Take care, buddy. Cheers, mate.
All right, mate. As Bricktop would say, of course. Of course. I wasn't asking, I was telling. I'm trying to organise R&M for the 2 volumetrics. The one you saw us get from Sonny at S&S a while back, which is going to get sprayed soon, and the other one I saw not long ago with the faulty alternator and battery. I want to put both of them on full R&M, but because of the ages of the vehicle, it's not straightforward. I understand. If somebody's going to give a vehicle full R&M that they didn't sell us and wasn't brand new, of course I need to pay for them to have a look at it. Otherwise, why would they sign up and take the risk of something they haven't seen? I get that. Saturday morning, I'm in the yard, interfering in the video room. So this is where Frighty sits. Now, if you see, Frighty's power sockets are here. Now, Richard sits here. Richard's chair keeps turning off Frighty's power on his computer because we didn't know how we were going to have the desk. So I've got to move these power points to over here, exactly behind Frighty's desk. And then I'm going to take this and move it over there and give Richard 2 doubles there, move these 2 down so it's behind the computer so it's a lot more neat. In order to do that, I had to shut down everything, shut the QNAP down properly, because then everybody will get in and say that Daniel mashed up the entire video room. But now this electrical work can begin, amongst other things, and Jav has turned up. Finance office, I did all the work. I thought I did, but there was one thing I forgot. In the corner over here, Wi-Fi doesn't stretch to this area. So we bought a printer and we need to hardwire it for Ethernet. But as you can see, we don't have the trunking going around, we just have power. Today, we're gonna do a little adaptation and we're now gonna run trunking along the back wall, and then we're gonna take one of the Ethernet sockets from over here, which we don't need, and we're gonna run it through the trunking, and then we're gonna hardwire the printer. Limestone is a yes. What's this? That's a no. No, it's not a no. It's a not yet. So that one goes there. But I might get you to just put them on blocks so they'll be ready to put them in place. What have we got here? Not yet pile. That's the not yet pile. That's a yes. Now, that's one of these tell. This ain't in till 15th of Jan. So let's just use them. Should we just put this new one on? Or do you reckon? Yeah? That's a yes, right? 2 to 6 limestone is a yes. That's it, yeah? Really? All right, cool. This one can be here. We're gonna go on that middle bay there, yeah? Let's get the 4 to 20. That will go here.
You know what you do? I would say, you know what I reckon I think we might be better off doing?
Tell me.
Putting the limestone here so the limestone products are next to each other. Or would they be better further apart so that there's no contamination?
We have concrete bays, Terry. There will be no contamination. Track ballast. That's this one. All right, cool. Let's go. Let's bring the other one as well, please. Tell, where are you putting this ballast, Terry? Here.
I think in this end bay, so we've got one more bay here, haven't we?
Yeah?
There's 2 bays here, yeah?
Yeah. So
I think the ballast should go here.
this bay here will be 4 to 20. Put it on this one, please, yeah? And then when they build the wall up, they can put it up there. That one goes here. Got cement delivery. You see the plum slates and the blue slate and the grey slate? I'm gonna just put them on blocks and move them out the way. 1, 2, 3, so we take these, yeah?
Just tuck them down the edge there by the machine.
I need to show you the offices and the tyre area. Come on, Tel. I'll meet you around there. We're driving back round to the office. In the hours. What we got? My hands are frozen, man. Yeah, right there. Exactly. Take off that one, put this one. I don't know if you want to drill it or, oh, it's screwed, yeah. We're saying, tell, there's none of that going on in there. You don't know why I'm putting that sign there. We're saying I'm trying to speak it into existence with that sign. That is the bottom of this one. If you can, there, go past it, and then if it sticks down a little bit, this one, the tyre bay, goes right in the middle. Fire evacuation and site plan will be here. So we have a plan for the signs, they're all going in place. We have a little bit of work on a volumetric. There's 3 concrete lorries going out today. Some of the lads are at the refurbishment project and some of the lads have come here. It's important to get all our signs in place so everybody knows what's going on. It seems like a small thing, but it's important and it's needed. So let's get on with the work. Repaired the wheel wash, just running it through its cycle. It needs to unblock itself a little bit. The water going everywhere is because some of the nozzles are blocked, and when the nozzles are blocked, then more water comes out the other ones, which is excessive. Rah. You know what? With a team like that, who needs enemies? It's a deep dish. If you go around and push every single one, it circulates it and then it'll thing it. But yeah, at least it's working. Grab a cone, be useful. It's all happening in here on Saturday morning. Concrete lorries are all back in. This one's just washing out the final bits. Over there, you can see the 13-ton machine on the roll-on, roll-off, ready to go out on Monday morning. Let's see how the rest of the work got on. We got one train next week on Wednesday of type 1. We don't have any sand or gravel coming in, but look at it, it looks like the most empty bay is the sand bay. We've got a lot of 10 mil in. Hopefully on Monday we can build up the bay over here to make a graded bay. And this sign up here is incorrect. I've realized I'm gonna have to change it because this material is not 4 to 20. This material is 10 to 20 and the material next to it is 4 to 10. So we keep the 10 mil to 20 mil separate, and then round the other side is where we're gonna have a bay where we're gonna mix the two of them together to make a graded 4 to 20. My bays are looking good. Bays are clearly labeled, they look nice. Can't say you didn't know. The labels we put on the material we're not using yet. We've taken them and putting them over the other side of the rail track there, just so they're out of the way and they don't get used. Let's see how we got on in the tyre area. Now this was too big for the area, so we've put an additional scaffold pole at the bottom. We drilled a couple of holes and we've wrapped some cable ties around it just to hold it in place. But once again, this has gone well. Sign looks good. So is that one. Now, because I only thought of doing this today, we didn't actually have enough trunking. And we didn't have a corner piece. So what we did was cut the edges to butt them together, and we're missing one piece to go here. Well, we're gonna order on Monday, and the Ethernet sockets, we need 2 blanks. But other than that, the printer's connected, nothing is in the way, it's nice and neat. In all my attempts to move the sockets earlier, when we turn the QNAP, our hard drive back on, we've got a massive issue with it.
Daniel's bright idea to mess with the electrics had me in hot water for about 4 hours. I couldn't connect to the QNAP, meaning I couldn't access any files, and with the episode due about 8 o'clock the next morning, the pressure was on. At this point, we presumed that we might have 40 cables from the work that happened this morning, but after deciding to restart the QNAP several times, do a software update, do a firmware update, and try some different cables, we managed to get ourselves back up and running.
The time now is, I even forgot my watch today, right? I have a mountain of work to do before Monday. There's some people I met yesterday at the event. I want to be in their inbox at 7 o'clock on Monday while their brains are still fresh, so I can try to spark up and nurture some relationships. It's going to be a long weekend, which isn't going to feel like a weekend, but that is the life I chose. So stop moaning, Daniel, and get on with it. And that's it for Ashville Weekly episode 165. Click here for the Ashville website. Click here to subscribe to our channel. Click here to see an Ashville video you may not have seen before, and click here for last week's episode, which was number 164. Yes, Bartosz?
Network is connected, but I'm not sure if the
Okay.
printer is working actually.
Bartosz.